Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Mouse Mana and NightEnD here on Lost Temple. We have Mouse Mana spawning over here at the 6 o'clock position. And meanwhile, over here at the 2 o'clock position, we have MTW NightEnD. So yeah, MTW NightEnD versus Mouse Mana here on Lost Temple. This is game 1 in I believe a best of 5 series that I have taken from Craft Cup 5. So yeah, some of you guys wanted to know where these particular replays were coming from. So there you go, Craft Cup 5. Meanwhile, some of you guys also wanted to see other games besides Terran matchups. So decided to bring you guys some Protoss mirror matches, and hopefully these games will be entertaining. So Mouse Mana throwing down a standard pylon over here, and pretty much whenever I see a mirror match, I really like to bring up the production tab, because you can see what exactly both players are doing, and you can start to see if they diverge in tactics. So yeah, both players almost exactly the same time, that pylon completing and training probes and getting that chrono boost. So it is a true mirror match so far. We do see NightEnD now running around with this one probe inside the base. Both players looking to go for some sort of 12, or is it going to be a 12 gateway? 12 gateway for Mouse Mana. Meanwhile, another 12 gateway as well. But Mouse Mana having a little bit of the economically getting that probe out a little bit faster, because NightEnD did do some scouting. However, that may come back to haunt him, as Mana now with a little bit of economic advantage and already knows where. Mana knowing where NightEnD is. This is going to be very confusing, as green and blue are similar in color. As you look at those probes, yeah, they're very similar in color, and we now see a 2-gate. So it is going to be a 2-gate opening versus an Assimilator Cybernetics core opening, and I am very curious to see how this is going to work. Is a 2-gate push going to beat the Cybernetics core with sentries and stalkers? So NightEnD, you can already take a look at his harvester count. His harvester count will become stronger and stronger as Mouse Mana starts to dump in some of these probes into that assimilator. Mouse Mana, knowing that there's a 2-gate opening, already doing a very nice wall off into this position. Cybernetics core and a pylon. Perhaps we'll even see a pylon here. And what this will do is it will prevent any sort of units from being able to get in. Oh, a gateway here. So really no real way to get into this base anymore. Poor probe's gonna have to walk all the way around and then end up over here. Hopefully he doesn't get stuck and try to run back that way. That would be a very, very bad maneuver. Anyways, Mouse Mana now coming back in with that probe. We do see one proxy pylon being built by NightEnD. So NightEnD now coming in with a proxy pylon with no warp gate and no assimilators. And the only thing I can think of that he could do is possibly have a forge. And if he throws down a forge and perhaps try to do a cannon rush on the other side, that would be very, very interesting indeed. Back over here, we now see a chrono boosted stalker coming out as zealots now make their way across the map. One zealot now going to go ahead and head up that ramp. That stalker, however, will be completed in time, and that stalker with that range of 6 will be able to fire from the comfort of this alcove and not take any real damage. Back over here, now out comes this stalker versus this zealot. Very, very desperately in trouble, gonna find that there's a gateway blocking him over here, and now NightEnD realizing that this rush is not going to work and now going for a forge. So we are going to see a cannon rush from the backside. That is a very interesting maneuver so far, as Mouse Mana has no idea about any of these cannons over here. We may see, oh, the probe was stuck. Oh, he was forced to cancel the forge that was already about 60 to 70% completed, and now has to relay it down. Now Mouse Mana, that may come out to be a very lucky maneuver there, as are we going to see? No, Mouse Mana still does not see that forge over there. And now, however, Mouse Mana already coming in with a proxy pylon of his own in the other side. So it's going to be proxy pylon, one side with cannons, the other side with a warp in technology. Zealots now trying to run away from those stalkers. Stalkers have a faster movement speed and range, so they're able to kite those units very easily, as these zealots perhaps are going to try to run up this ramp. Now we do see 2 photon cannons now being warped in. Gateway still does not see this building, and perhaps we should also see another pylon being warped in. Otherwise, this one pylon is powering a lot of buildings over here. Back over here, we do have Mouse Mana finishing off with that pylon, and now that we are going to have a warp in over here. Stalker's now continuing to fight. There's only 1 gateway though, so 2 gateways, and we'll be able to warp in additional units. But back over here, in comes that photon cannon, and Mouse Mana now sees these cannons, and how is he going to respond now? We should see another pylon being thrown in at some point, as these zealots are now engaging against these stalkers. Stalkers or zealots do deal more damage against stalkers than vice versa. And now one poor Zealot trying to come in and now out of position. So things are going to be looking very bad for Mouse Mana. But however, are we going to have warp in? No, not warping in onto that far side, as we do see Photon Cannons trying to stop these, or Stalkers trying to stop these Photon Cannons. Not going to work, as one Photon Cannon already back in place. Zealots also coming in to engage. Now this one Photon Cannon down to 4 hit points. Down it goes. Zealots now trying to get a little bit of that aggro and trying to pull those away. And now here comes this one Photon Cannon. Photon Cannon is going to focus down that low hit point Stalker there. One very low hit point Stalker. One Photon Blast would have been enough, and more cannons coming in. So NightEnD coming in with cheese play. However, Zealots now in the main base of NightEnD. How is he going to respond back over here as these Stalkers try to deal more and more of this damage? However, these Photon Cannons a little bit too far away. One Photon Cannon able to get some damage onto one Assimilator and trying to fight back over here. Still, it looks like Mana trying to get up more and more units and now going to come in straight for an attack into that mineral line there, as these Photon Cannons are now rushing into Mouse Mana's base. These Warp Gates are going to be in a little bit of trouble, as these probes are now taking damage by these Zealots over here. One of these Zealots need to go ahead. Two Zealots with all these probes should be able to handle that fight back over here, but now Zealots engaging over here, trying to take down some of these Warp Gates, and now that's not going to really work either, because Stalkers are hiding in position here. We do see another Photon Cannon, another Pylon. Where is that probe? The probe looks like it was taken down. And now down to 2 Warp Gates back over here. Stalkers continue to warp in over here. And now NightEnD very, very much hurting in the economic game. Zealots unable to engage here. This one Photon Cannon trying to push through. And will it be able to work? No, these Zealots perhaps need to want to engage around over here, take down some of these buildings. And now Stalkers able to take down over here. So really still anyone's game. Mouse Mana and NightEnD both trying to do some sort of cheese play. And NightEnD says GG. So a crazy start to a 5-game set, or a best of 5 set here on Lost Temple. We have Mouse Mana, who opened up with the standard Warp Gate, or Stargate, with the Cybernetics Core for that Warp Gate ability. However, NightEnD countered it with a cheese cannon, well, cannon placement. I wouldn't really call it a cannon rush, but just a proxy cannons into the base over here, taking down this one Assimilator and one of these Warp Gates. However, with that Warp Gate research and one Pylon in the base of NightEnD, Mana was able to take this game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed Game 1 in this series. Stay tuned for Game 2.